This is another episode of Vicarious Vlogging. Today I'm taking you on a rock repeat. You can see there's a lot of fog here. You can't even see town. Usually you can see all the way back to Fort Collins and the reservoir from here, but you can't see anything today. But you can see that there's some blue and the sky is starting to open up. So I just climbed the first couple of 100 feet up to this first little plateau, and then we start to climb again. You can see the sun shining on the rocks way out there. It's all snowy. It was really icy coming up. As you can see, I've got my Catulas on. They're great. They actually make it easy to go uphill. I feel kind of guilty, like I'm cheating. So this is where I just came from. This is one of the steeper pitches along the route going up the Southridge Trail. It's actually a service road, but I like to run it because it gets you up there fast, so you get the most vertical in the least miles. And that pitch is really nice when you're training for an ultra that has a lot of climbing and descending, because it really bashes your quads. And today I'm only doing one of these, but if I were training for Badwater or any long ultra with a lot of vertical, I'd be doing multiple repeats of this. But today, I only have to do one. Okay, we're in luck. I just came up this really steep set of switchbacks, and there's this place where you can stop and look at the view through some trees. And we might luck out today. I thought we were going to be stuck in the clouds, but you can just barely see out in the distance through that hole between the trees. That's Long's Peak, shrouded in kind of clouds and a little bit of sunshine. And that's the highest peak around here in the northern Front Range, at least close to Fort Collins. And being able to see that is an extra treat today when I thought we would be completely fogged in. So now we're at the end of the switchbacks and the road levels out for a while, and then I'll show you when I do the final part of the climb. If we're lucky, we'll get a good view from up there. Okay, I'm climbing up the last really steep little section. I'd say this is the short, sweet, steep pitch. And I'm almost to the top of where my rock repeats normally end, and I'll show you that when I get there. Looks like a lot of blue sky up here, so we should have a good view. So here I am at about the top of the rock repeat. You can see Horsetooth Rock ahead of me. It's only about 400 feet up there. I'm not going to go up there today. If the ground was dry, I would be up there, but I really don't need a Darwin Award. You know, at this point in my life, I really can't pollute the gene pool, but I still don't want to get a Darwin Award. So I'm just going to go up to where the rock repeat normally ends, and then I think before I head down, I'm going to do a little extra. But here I go. You climb up this little switchback to the top of the saddle, and we should be rewarded with a good view. Okay, so we're above the clouds, looking down at Redstone Canyon, and across you can see Long's Peak is partially covered. And then looking down the valley, you really can't see very much, but that's down toward Loveland and Pinewood Reservoir. Usually you can see all that, Carter Lake, but today it's all under the clouds. And I can hear somebody out there shooting a gun. This is America. So there's Horsetooth Rock. I can see a tiny person on top of it. But like I said, I really don't want to get a Darwin Award. So I'm going to head up a little bit further on the trail. But as of right here, it's 2.1 miles from the parking lot and 1,108 feet of climb. That's according to GPS. So you can see that it's ideal for training for steep vertical runs. So my bonus here is taking the Culver Trail. You get to go up this really cool little trail that takes you through the rocks, and you climb just a little bit higher. And then on the other side, it's a nice cruise downhill through some trees. I love this. So the rock is right there. It's not that far up, maybe 200 or 300 feet above me, but I'm going down this little chute that should be a lot more doable with these Catulas. I have to say that this has been one of the easiest climbs up here I've ever had because of the traction. I mean, even when the trail is dry, you slip a lot because it's really loose. So this really felt a lot easier today than normal. So here we are in the Culver Trail. This is just an example of the view from Culver. It is just amazing up here. You're looking across Redstone Canyon up toward Twin Sisters. If you can see that, there's two peaks way back there with the clouds behind them. That's where I biffed it last summer. And here we go down the trail. Here you get a little better idea of what I'm looking at. I'm looking down on Redstone Canyon. See, here's my foot. It's so awesome up here above the clouds. Yeah, look at Long's Peak. Taking one look back at the Culver Trail before it meets up with the Southridge Trail. So now we just go down here. It goes over the side of the ridge and joins up with the service road down here a little ways. It's been fairly busy up here. I'm sort of surprised. I saw a lot of people climbing the rock, so I guess maybe I'm just cautious, or there are a lot of people in contention for the Darwin Award this year. I've just passed a group of very chatty girls who didn't hear me, even though I kept saying I was coming up behind them, and I could hear all that shooting, that whoever exercising their Second Amendment rights to scare the wildlife and disturb the peace. But other than that, it's been really nice and quiet. So you can see down to the road where the trail meets up with it, and then it'll be a couple miles back down to the parking lot. So it took me about 45 minutes to get to the top of the rock repeat place today. Normally I get there in about 35 minutes. And today it took a little longer because I kept stopping to video things. But I think if I hadn't stopped, I probably would have gotten up there faster just because of the traction. It just seemed so much easier today. So here are a few muddy spots and pine needles and ice. I'm really glad I had these on my feet today because I don't think I would have made it up as far as I did. It was really icy. So here's where we meet up with the Southridge Trail and start heading down the road. The sun is starting to come out, and you can see down toward where all the houses are. Can't see the reservoir yet, but it turned out to be an awesome day. The trees are still frosted here. The sun's just starting to peek through the clouds. You can see down to the reservoir now. Barely. It's really cloudy, but there's a layer of ice over the water. In the summer, I always see snakes at this spot, but I guess we're not going to see any today. No snakes at the snake crossing. Yeah, looking down into the valley toward Masonville. Oh, it's so awesome. I'm so lucky to live here. This is part of my bonus for extra distance and vertical. I'm going down the trail toward the inner part of the park. You can see up to the rocks, the sunshine, and then when you look back, it's all cloudy. So down in town, they're thinking, oh, what a miserable day, but it's beautiful up here. That's a golden eagle flying up over our heads. It's flying around in circles up there. It's probably waiting for me. This is just looking down the valley toward the reservoir. I'm about to turn around here pretty soon. I'm running out of snow, and I don't want to wear these katulas on the mud. See, there goes the trail. It's all dry down there. Okay, I'm turning around. Thanks for joining me.